Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, New Hampshire child suspected of having measles does not have disease, officials say. Child was experiencing rare reaction to vaccine. A New Hampshire child suspected of having measles does not have the disease, health officials said yesterday. The Department of Health and Human Services issued a warning last week for people in the Keene area after the child developed symptoms that appeared to be measles. But officials said further testing showed that the child was likely showing symptoms of a vaccine reaction. Health officials said that with the new diagnosis, there is no contagious measles known to be circulating in the community. Officials said specialized laboratory testing was done after it was learned that the child had been vaccinated days before being diagnosed with measles. The test determined that the child was experiencing symptoms of a vaccine reaction rather than measles. Officials said about 5% of people who receive the measles, mumps, and rubella, or MMR vaccine will develop a fever and rash reaction as the body builds up antibodies to measles. More serious reactions that resemble a real measles virus infection, as was seen in the child, are very rare, officials said. Over the last 5 years, Chan said 50,000 doses of MMR vaccine were administered to New Hampshire children, and the child in Keene had the most severe reaction to it. The MMR vaccine is made using a weakened virus. There have been no confirmed cases in the scientific literature of human-to-human transmission of the virus strain of the measles virus. Measles is caused by a virus that is passed from person to person through the air when someone with the disease sneezes, coughs, or talks. The virus can remain infectious in the air for up to 2 hours after an affected person leaves the area. It is very easy for individuals who have not received the measles vaccine to contract it from someone else. The incubation period for measles from the time of exposure is 7 to 21 days. Symptoms of measles infection usually begin with high fever, cough, runny nose, and congestive for several days prior to developing a body rash. "2020 New Hampshire Candidate Tracker for May 24th, 2019, today. Pete Buttigieg is in New Hampshire today. Pete Buttigieg has 2 events today in New Hampshire. His first event discussing with veterans in Londonderry, New Hampshire, beginning at 5:30 p.m. And then meet Pete at Exeter Town Hall in Exeter, New Hampshire, beginning at 7 o'clock p.m. Dow heads for 5th straight negative week, longest losing streak since 2011. Stocks were headed for weekly losses on Friday as investors worry the U.S.-China trade war is hurting economic growth. Trump gives Attorney General Barr sweeping power to declassify intelligence in 2016 probe review. President Donald Trump has given Attorney General William Barr sweeping powers over the Intelligence Committee in his review of their role in how the probe began into Russia interference in the 2016 election and surveillance on the Trump campaign. And that is it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.